So we are doing a full tier list for the first time, and we're doing it with our buddies at MobaFire. They reached out with me to work on a few videos. This is the second of 4. And MobaFire is also starting a new channel that will feature educational stuff like this. This video will be on their channel. I'll link to it in the description. You guys can check it out. Should have some interesting content, okay? But yeah, basically this tier list is going to be my thoughts on what I think is strong, at least what I use personally, and my thoughts on each champion, when they're good, when they're not good, and, you know, potential builds you can go, okay? So with that being said, let us get started. This is on the MobaFire website. I'll have this in the link in the description as well, and or in the comments. So yeah, you guys can go check it out there. But first, we have Draven. Okay, this champion, I banned this champion. Oh shit, there's like info there if you want. You can mouse over these if you want. But yeah, Draven. Let's talk about Draven. So Draven is actually extremely strong. I in this meta, I highly value champions that can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Specifically, a lot of all-in champions I think are quite good. All right, they have really good solo queue potential, because in solo queue, you see a champion, can you kill it right now? That's usually how you get an advantage, right? You do a lot of damage immediately, you can kill them right now, something along those lines, and then you're really happy, right? You can't just take your time and whittle them away when, you know, Aurelia is killing you in 3 seconds, or any of these other like Kiana, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? All these champions kill you really fast. People die really fast. Time to kill is really short. Okay, so Draven is one of those champions that can do that. He has really good all-in potential. He has really good catch, right? This man kind of has it all. The only thing, you know, the only problem is you have to play Draven. Okay, so if you don't play Draven and you pick Draven, you're probably trolling. All right, so this is for Draven mains. If you can get your champion, he's really good. You can even go like Bloodthirster first. You legit can't die. You can't get out traded in lane. It's disgusting, right? Your only kind of way to lose is if you get chain ganked and you're not playing around the jungler, which is a mistake, or you're getting caught by like hooks, like blitz or bind things or something along those lines. Otherwise, you feel free to just win every game, right? You're gonna get a bunch of free kills, you're gonna get a bunch of free money, and you're gonna have a good time if you're a Draven main. Next is Xayah. Okay, remember, we highly prioritize high amounts of damage, like all in potential and high burst damage, which is why you see Caitlyn here. We'll get to her later. Okay, so all in potential, Xayah has press the attack. Her passive kills people. Her W has good damage, right? And her isolated Q, great all in potential, early mid late game, right? Very strong. Okay, now why isn't Xayah just picked all the time? Because she can have really bad matchups, right? Let's say, for example, we have like Xayah and Sona versus, like, let's say Caitlyn and Morgana. Okay, it's gonna be really hard to lane, right? And laning is extremely important in solo queue, right? So we need to make sure that out of all these picks on this tier list, we pick for lane, and then we pick for team comp. And for me, it's usually we pick for lane, and then we pick what's good for lane, and then we pick comfort / all in potential, right? So Xayah is extremely good. You can go the Manamune build into Rageblade into Nashers. You get a QWE upgrade. You can even do like Manamune into AD after Rageblade, or you can do like Stormrazor Rageblade. Whatever is good. They all kind of, you still kind of play the same way on Xayah, right? Okay, next is Sivir, and the reason why Sivir is even on here is because of the IE Essence Reaver build, right? I think IE and Essence Reaver, if your champion does not need to go 2 zeal items, you got the damage for burst. You have the potential for short-term burst, right? IE Essence Reaver to fatten up your damage ability, which is Sivir Q. You have insane burst potential, which is kind of like all in, but not really, right? So, or you can say it's kind of, it can be your all in potential, right? So her boomerang does a shit ton of damage. And also it's really good because she's really good because it's easy to play, in the sense that if you want to push, you just press W and you auto push, right? Now, if there are potential problems with Sivir, it's that you might have issues in team fights where if you are, you know, not kind of paying attention and you walk up to hit someone, you have really short range. So you're gonna have a problem if they just kill you, right? They just point and click on you. Like, let's just use the Akali example. Good luck if you walk up and you're not paying attention and she just full combos you. She can even miss abilities, you still die. You guys know what I mean, right? So, similar, like legit any champion in the game, right? You're gonna die pretty fast if you're not paying attention. So positioning is very important on Sivir. But otherwise, if there are problems in lane, it is all in lanes. Wow, surprise, right? Let's say you're playing Sivir and you have like a Yumi, for example. You're very susceptible to all in and or catch, right? Let's say Kaisa Nautilus. We're going to try and run you down. We're going to try and all in. Something like Leona, something like Alistar. Sivir is very susceptible to all in, all right? In the sense that ADC is always going to have pressure on her, right? These guys are always going to have pressure on Sivir. Because they're going to try and kill her whenever she's too far up or out of position, or they're going to hide in a bush or something. So they got pressure over this champion. So be wary of that, right? So you want to pick for lane. You can pick her against pretty much anyone who doesn't have pressure against her. So Ezreal, Caitlyn, you're really happy against those champions. All right, no, next tier, A tier. These champions are really good. They're just not S tier for whatever reason, right? So let's start with Caitlyn here. So Caitlyn is actually interesting because she doesn't have all-in potential. So why do I rate her really highly? Well, the reason being is that I really like Caitlyn, and also because you have high damage potential, burst potential, which is semi all-in, like Sivir. Or Fat Boomerang, you know, you can do some like fancy Q flash or whatever, but there's a shit ton of damage. That's how you kill people. With Caitlyn, it's headshot crit, okay? And you know, people step on traps, headshot crit. They step on a, you know, you net them, headshot crit. And the probably best way to do this on Caitlyn is with headshot auto cancels. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically you get 2 headshots in a row, or the way we're using it for Caitlyn is they step on a trap, we net and get 2 headshots off, right? So if you want to know how it's done, you just Google headshot auto cancel on YouTube. You click on the video, you'll figure it out. Okay, but basically, high damage potential in the IE Essence Reaver build is why I highly value Caitlyn, and also she pairs really well with champions that have CC, so you know they can be stuck in place while you put a trap onto them. That's like a true combo. You're gonna kill them full to 0, right? Kind of really is really kill potential in solo queue. Right? Can you kill this guy? So if you have like Caitlyn Janna, yeah, sure, you're gonna be really cute poking and pushing, but in solo queue, I think it's more likely something's gonna go really wrong, like you get ganked, or Janna gets hooked, or you get hooked, or whatever. There's a high potential for something to go wrong in these kinds of lanes, right? Okay, next is Ezreal. I'm gonna special note. If you do not play Ezreal like this, D tier, F tier, okay? Ezreal, you playing for your mid-game spike with your high, that's your, you know, high damage potential. You have no all-in potential, by the way, unless you're level 6, and you can burst them down with ulti and W off your teammate's CC. You need a true combo. You can true combo in that way, but it's not, it's possible, but you need to get to level 6, right? And out of lane, you need to make sure that you have your 2-item spike with man immune and whatever you go, like Trinity, Gauntlet, whatever, it doesn't matter. You need to hit hard. Right? So if you die in lane, you cannot stack tier, you can't even buy tier, and you don't get to mid game, you don't get tier 2 items, you don't get tier 2 items, you don't do damage, you're fucking useless, 4v5, F tier, okay? So, but if you can do everything perfectly, get through lane, no problems, you get to mid game power spike, and you're taking over the team fights with your burst damage, it's really good, right? So it's very polarizing in the sense that if you screw up, it's 15 GG, unless your teammate can save it. And if you don't screw up, you're going to have some control over the mid game, right? Similar to Caitlyn, honestly. If you die in lane as Caitlyn, you're not going to get to your IE Essence spike. So GG, right? You can't do anything, right? At least these all-in champions that have inherent damage in them with press the attack or their full combo. So they can actually, you know, maybe finish off someone, right? These champions is just good luck, right? If you fall behind. So Tristana, another all-in champion. Now, why isn't she up there with Draven and Kaisa? Oh, the answer is because she has some really bad matchups, right? In the sense that you have really short range early game. So if the matchup is poor, you're actually just going to have like no CS because it's hard to CS under tower with Tristana, right? Because your E like explodes and hurts minions. So you're going to have a hard time of farming minions. But other than that, she's actually really good. I think she has really good all-in potential, obviously with her W and her bomb, especially after all the buffs. And even though she doesn't really go Essence IE, her all-in potential is good enough with 2 Zeals. So I think she's pretty good. It's just that sometimes not good. All right. So basically, make sure you can get out of lane with Tristana, and you know how to play out of lane with Tristana, because sometimes you can't jump in the mid game, right? Her ulti is also really good against certain champions in the meta right now. Let's say, let's just pull up whatever we've been playing against. And just pick out a few of these. Kiana, she can ulti Kiana away. Kiana, I'm saying that right. Keanu Reeves, she can ulti Keanu Reeves away. She can ulti any top laner away, any jungler away, right? She can outplay like Silas, Lee Sin if they really force, right? Anything like that is really good. Yeah, even like Gragas, right? Any of these champions that trying to play make, you can actually ulti to cancel. It's really good. Xayah, okay, if you're a Xayah main, probably S tier, right? The reason why she's not S tier is because she's actually really mechanically difficult, like Draven in a sense, in that all of her abilities are actives, and you need to know when to use them in order to get good results. Like for example, she can trade with her W, right? If you press W at the right time and you trade fully within the cooldown, you're gonna have a really good result. But let's say you use W and you don't hit anyone, which actually happens a lot with Xayah players. Kind of useless, right? Or if you're trying to catch someone, you randomly use E and you don't hit anyone. That's a common problem, right? Or you ulti, you don't dodge anything, right? So a lot of room for mechanical errors on this champion. So if you're a perfectly mechanical player, pick Xayah, right? The other downside to Xayah is if laning is really bad, you're going to have a hard time influencing the game in the sense that they outrange you. Let's say they pick Vel'Koz and Varus, and you're playing like Xayah and Nami, okay? So you're going to have a hard time gap closing unless you flash in, right? You're going to have to go some ballsy play like that and make sure the enemy jungle's not here, right? Or even worse, let's say you're playing Xayah and Janna. You guys are fucked. You just dodge because the lane is so bad, you're doomed. Really short range is kind of the problem with Xayah. Another thing to watch out for is her ulti cooldown is actually really long at level 1. 140 seconds, okay? Without Essence Reaver. So if you ulti to make a play happen or to ulti to dodge an ultimate like Ashe or Arrow, you're not going to have it for more than 2 minutes, right? So they're going to run in the river, do whatever they want, and you're going to really have a problem if you don't have ulti on Xayah. So for builds, you should just look into Essence Rapid or Essence IE, Essence, Essence Rapid IE. You don't go double Zeal. So champions that don't go double Zeal, you're really happy, right? These guys, actually all these guys don't go double Zeal. Tristana does sometimes, but you could probably invent a build that doesn't go double Zeal, right? I think double Zeal is actually really weak in terms of stats, and it's not the power spike that you need compared to another BF sword item like Essence Reaver or maybe even BT, right? Next, we have B tier champions. Sometimes good, right? Varus, right? The only Varus we see is Poke Varus. So we said all-in potential is really highly valued. How about champions that make sure you can't all-in by poking you down first, right? That's why this champion's up here. The thing is, it gets countered by sustain. So yeah, you're going to have a problem if they just sustain it up. And let's say you fall behind, your poke doesn't do shit, right? So another champion that can have really high highs or really low lows depending on the matchup. And if you're wondering about Crib Varus or Borg Varus or whatever, ask yourself, he has all-in potential, but how fast is his all-in? His all-in is slower than everyone else on this list. That is all-in. So slower than Kaisa, that's just isolated QW. Or Tristana kills you really quick. Xayah, just press W faster, right? All these champions kill you faster than you kill them for all-in. So that's why you don't really see it too often. And then other good uses of Varus is ulti. You can catch people. It's really good mid-game before people get QSS, right? Or hopefully the enemy ADC doesn't take cleanse, right? Really good for dragon fights. You can catch people out. And another downside is you're immobile. You can't move. So you get Kled ultied, you're just dead, right? Or Pantheon ultied, or literally anyone in the game ultied, you're gonna have a problem, right? Now Twitch, this is interesting, right? So if Twitch didn't have so many poor matchups in lane and out of lane, he would be like S tier, okay? The problem with Twitch is when he comes out of stealth, can they do anything about it? So assassins, they're just gonna turn around and kill your ass. So, and a lot of bruisers can do the same, which is why you don't see Twitch as much, even if he's good in lane. Now for in lane, if he's bad in lane, you're not gonna have items. You know, you're gonna get pushed in. You're gonna be really weak. You're gonna be really sad. Okay, so that's why you don't see Twitch pretty much ever, except a few exceptions. So if you need an all-in champion, if you need all-in for whatever reason, like against Sivir Yumi, it could be really good. And out of lane, it could be really good. Okay, those two things matter. In lane, it's good, and out of lane, it's good. These champions like Caitlyn, I don't care who I'm playing against out of lane, right? We're just happy with traps and net combos or whatever. With Twitch, you're gonna have a problem if you come out of stealth and Fizz ultis you, or Rengar ultis you, or someone comes in from the side and kills you, right? You have a tough time of dealing with that compared to these other champs. Okay, so if you can do those two requirements, you're good to go on Twitch. And in terms of builds, You can go Blade the Ruin King. You can go Blade the Ruin King Runons, IE Runons, something like that. But I highly prefer high single DPS burst with all-in potential, more all-in potential, and that is Dirk Bork IE. Okay, that's the build I'm running with Twitch. I don't know. I played Twitch one game here, right? You know, well, surprise, it was good against champions in lane and champions out of lane. These two. Okay, against Talon, it could be Monka S, but you know, it was good enough. So we just smashed them because we killed them in lane, and then kill everyone else out of lane. No problem. I went Dirk, Bork, Infinity Edge. All right, Dirk for the early game damage, Bork for the 1 item spike, and Infinity Edge for a 2 item spike. All right. Remember, 0 items I consider very weak. So if we can not buy a 0 item, I will not buy a 0 item. The only champion will buy a 0 item is like Rapid Fire because we need it, right? These guys maybe need it. Rapid Fire. Okay. C tier. These champions, yeah, it can go south really fast. All right. So Ashe. Another champion where if you die in lane, it's over because all you can do is arrow. This champion has no all-in potential anymore. You used to have all-in potential with Lethal Temple, but everyone kills you before you can get your Q stacks off, or your support dies before you can get your Q stacks off, and or your Q doesn't even do any damage unless you have items. It's like, it suck. Basically, it's a suck. Like, you have damage once you have items. Like, yo, I need damage before I have items, please, right? Like, Kai'Sa passive is insane. Where's that for Ashe? So yeah, you have you don't do shit except poke in lane with your W spam. So if they have sustain, you got a problem. You can only arrow. And the only reason this champion is picked is because they buffed her W. So now that if you have 40% cooldown, you can W spam out of lane like a lot, and you'll be useful that way. But current builds for her are something like Essence Trinity, which is really expensive actually. You can go for Essence IE. I would not buy 0 items again. If anything, I'll buy 1 0 item. Basically, you're looking to do burst damage / all-in potential as fast as possible, as soon as possible, I should say. You need items to get this champion online, and otherwise, you're depending on your arrow to win the game, which is kind of good luck, right? Because in solo queue, you know, it's better to just kill them by yourself than arrow set up for your team. Jhin, same thing. W set up for your team versus killing them by yourself. Also, he does have burst potential with his 4th shot. The problem is getting it on command in the mid game. In the mid game, there are problems in team fights if you can't 4th shot in time. Like, your team is dying really fast, you need to 4th shot someone, you have 4 shots left in the chamber, you can't get your 4th shot, right? You're like, oh, team fight's over already, right? And his ulti is not useful. His ulti is only useful when you've already won the fight and you're chasing them down. You ulti low HP targets. So in solo queue, being able to be self-sufficient and turn the fight by yourself is actually highly prized. Okay, so like all these champions, you can do something by yourself, right? Like Draven has, I mean, you can just 1v5, I guess. Kai'Sa can ulti but you know, ulti look for isolated Q, W, flash plays. Sivir can just farm if nothing goes wrong, right? Farm to victory. Caitlyn can, you know, set up traps, they step on it. Ezreal can poke from this side. Tristana can look for an opening. All these champions can kind of do something by themselves. Jhin, he has to like his team needs to be like winning or running or something, and then you turn or chase with W and ulti. And if you can't do that, you need to fall back with your 4 shot ideas. And if you can't do that, you can't do anything. So that's the problem with Jhin, is that he lacks the ability to do something on command, and fights happen really fast now, so you need to be on command immediately. Okay, you need to do something now. So even though the W buff is really good, Jhin himself, you know, unfortunately not great. If I were to test him more, I would try lethality, so you can actually burst faster, right? With your 4th shot or 2 shots or whatever. I'd try something like Ghostblade IE, right? But I tried IE Essence twice, and we had a lot of money, we had a lot of kills, positioned really well. Not great results, right? Team died, still lost the game. So next is Lucian. Actually, if Lucian is a little bit better, this might be a little unfair, being C tier. He actually might be a little bit better. We just haven't seen enough to say he's better. So right now, we're seeing a lot of Essence Reaver, IE, or crit builds so you can burst faster. Remember, it's all about all-in and burst, right? And you're going to have a good time. Problem with this is that if he falls behind, he has nothing to fall back on, right? Because, you know, Lucian has no utility. So if you fall behind, you do no damage. You do no damage, you're not useful. You know, it's GG, right? So if you have a bad lane for some reason, you're going to have a problem. And even if you do have a good laning phase, if you screw up team fights to mechanics, yeah, Lucian like Xayah has 4 active abilities. you're also gonna have a problem, right? Like not using your ulti correctly, not auto canceling correctly, not short dashing when you should short dash, right? The list goes on and on. So you're gonna learn how to. This is like kind of special. You're gonna have to learn how to play him. So if you're really good at Lucian, you could probably bump it up to A tier, if he's consistent enough, right? Okay. Next we have these guys. All right, let's go backwards on the list. We'll save Jinx for last. Corki, testing. Maybe if he has some mid-game burst build, you can go for it, but you know, it's gonna be like Ezreal. How can you lane, right? How can you lane? There's no all-in potential, right? So good luck, right? And then we got Vayne. All right, this champ is booty. I would only pick her if, you know, you only pick her if they have a melee support so you can lane, and they have tanks out of lane so you can team fight. Because even if you win lane, if out of lane you can't do shit to the enemy team, it's not worth picking. So yeah, that's the thing on Vayne. She does have all-in potential, but it's not very fast. It's gonna take a lot of hits, right, for your W's to stack up. So you're gonna be slower than literally everyone else on the list, and you need to lane condemn to beat them. So let's say Vayne versus Tristana, better lane that condemn, right? Or Vayne versus Kaisa, you know, whoever lands W versus Vayne condemn. Kaisa W versus Vayne condemn, right? Yeah, and her follow-up is not easy. You just walk up and auto attack, unbinding, good luck, right? So this champion, not great in this meta. Yeah, don't play this stuff. Don't play this shit, guys, okay? And then Misfortune. Actually, this is actually just, I put her here because I didn't know where to put her. This champion, I think it has potential, like burst. We're talking about burst potential, all-in potential, right? So there's like that Blade the Ring King lethality build going around by Dog 2, I think. He is like a Misfortune player, right? I think if you can make her into all-in / have good burst potential, she bumps up the list. You can pick her, right? As long as lane is okay. Remember, lane is very important in solo queue. Laning must be good. Laning must not go wrong. You cannot die to the jungler. Sometimes can die to the enemy bot lane, but you cannot die to the jungler, okay? No matter what, or you just forfeit, okay? 15 GG. So if Misfortune can do that, and she can, you know, burst people with lethality or crit or whatever build you can make work, go for it. No problems. No problems. Kog'Maw, we can't do anything, all right? No all-in potential because, well, he does have all-in potential with W, but it takes too long, okay? You're dead by the time you can get like 3 hits off to anyone in the game, to any ADC or mid laner, right? Or top laner or whatever, right? And he's also immobile, so he can't run away. So gets caught really quick, like Varus, right? Or Ashe or Jhin or whatever, right? These guys get caught pretty easily in a game where everyone has mobility and they just run you down. Like I died to a Sylas who didn't even land stun, and I was playing Caitlyn. Like imagine you're playing Kog'Maw and you run into that shit. Like what are you supposed to do? You just die out of position. Because you're in range. Good luck. And if you want to make him work, I would try somehow increase his burst potential. Halo Blades, Infinity Edge, Instance Reavers, something like that. I would try something like that. So haven't tested it. Maybe it could be good. Let me know. Otherwise, pretty booty, right? Kalista, same problem as Kog'Maw. Used to have good all-in potential with E. Now it takes too long. So that's why you don't see her. Takes too long to get her rend stacks, so you die first, right? Next, we have Jinx. Okay, this Jinx is not actually F tier. It's just this champion is not good for... Okay, this champion works in this specific case. 1, lane is not a disaster. You must get out of lane without dying to the jungler, getting dove, or losing lane somehow. 2, you can follow with Zap and ulti to get random kills and assists in team fights. And 3, you don't get picked off mid-game because you can't move like Varus or Kog'Maw. You literally can't move, right? So if you can accomplish these 3 goals and not die in team fights and do what you're supposed to do in team fights, which is max range rocket and then switch to minigun and run people down and stuff like that, then you can pick Jinx. Now, even if you can do all these things in your elo, like bronze or whatever, or silver, or even maybe like gold, platinum, whatever, it's not going to help you get better at the game. The only thing it'll help you get better at is positioning in team fights, which, to be fair, is important, but you won't have... You're losing agency in lane. You know, you're losing agency in mid game because you're never going to be able to push first unless somehow you want lane, right? You're going to have a problem. And you're also not going to learn how to, you know, 2v2. For example, 2v2 AMD ADC, all in example. It's going to be a lot harder on Jinx. What are you going to do? Minigun them, right? That's like the only thing you can do. So versus someone like Lucian, who's going to use all his full rotation on the enemy ADC. You're going to lose all those kinds of opportunities. You can't save the game, essentially. If your team is losing, and you keep losing, it's very hard for you to turn the game around unless you get a bunch of random kills and you're doing massive damage with the crits. All right. In terms of builds, you can go like this is actually one of the only champions that's fine with double zeal because all you need is Infinity Edge and Runons. So just throw in whatever third item. You don't. It doesn't really matter. Like okay, zeal to be kite better, I guess. Right. That's fine. Right. Yeah, I would say this champion is not good for learning. I would not pick her ever. No one in high elo ever picks her. Champion is too dependent on her team. Super like situational. Don't pick this shit if you're trying to get better at the game. Okay, that's my official thoughts. Okay, so that's basically all I had in mind for these ADCs. To reiterate, is very much I highly value champions with good all-in potential, so you can turn fights, or burst, so you can turn fights, right? With some kind of burst, or some kind of I mean this is kind of burst, right? Or some kind of stall to late game, very easy to pilot, push, or all-in potential, right? You can just put these in a diamond or something. I don't know, right? Good all-in potential, right? And these are champions that can turn the game / be self-sufficient. You want to be self-sufficient in solo queue. That's the bottom line. So if you can be self-sufficient, pick whatever the hell you want, and you want to be able to have as much room to win lane in lane. Okay. So pick for lane, pick all in, pick burst, and then if you're a Draven main, go for it. Ezreal main, you never die in lane, go for it. You're a Caitlyn wannabe, go for it, but good luck if you fuck up in lane. And then these guys are very situational, probably never pick for the majority of you guys. And these guys, I would not recommend at all, okay? And these guys, your team is actually probably mental boom if you see that. Like, seriously, if you see this shit in your games, you're probably like, dude, this guy is trolling, right? So unless you find out a way to make it work, don't do it. Otherwise, let me know. I'm curious to see if there's a quirky build that works, like Ezreal. That would be actually really cool. Otherwise, yeah, let me know what you guys thought. I'll again put this in the description below. But yeah, that's the tier list for me. I'll see you guys next time.